Hi Conway. So I'm looking at this animation here. Sorry it took me a while to answer. I just was busy delivering another course. So I'm looking at the animation in here, the blocking, and I was also looking at the previous blocking with all the bipeds in there. And I'm not quite sure what's the aim in here. What is it? What's the scope of this exercise you're doing? In my opinion, in fact, you could even have, instead of having the bipeds, you could have just cubes standing there, boxes, and you mash them. So you're in fact preparing some sort of game animation. So you can focus on the animation on the monster, and if time you can add the bipeds there. In my opinion, that will make it a lot easier, I think, to finish at a good level of quality. So that would be my first note for this thing. And yeah, the issue with this monster, in my opinion, is that the silhouette is not very clear, and so and let's see what. So in here, for instance, well, let's talk about animation. Sorry, it's just that I don't quite know what to say because the animation wasn't really introduced probably to me in a way that made it easier for me to understand what's the scope. But so let's say that the guy is angry, and then it's preparing something. So if the strike is happening with the left arm, like I assume it is, then you'd go down in anticipation, but you would also twist. I suppose you would twist a lot more in that direction. I would probably have the silhouette this way, and I would twist the upper body so that the middle line is somewhere over here. And here I would remember, probably I would keep the leg a bit more open towards the outside. After all, you're shifting a lot of weight on the left, so you want this leg to be a bit more extended, so that it's counterbalancing there. Then in here, I think you will be better off with a line of action of this kind. So you will swing this way. Right now it feels like you're swinging this way, but then you're turning that way on the back, which is a bit strange. And then, oh, okay, I see, you have two anticipations there. Yeah, I don't know why you need two anticipations, because you're going, it seems to me that you're going into the anticipation ready to swing, and then for whatever reason you go down, and then you anticipate again, and then you anticipate with the leg again, and then you swing. I'm not quite sure what's going on in here, I have to be honest. So I think I would, if that's an anticipation you're doing here, I think you just need one anticipation. I think you have the tendency of adding poses because you think that the character needs to keep moving. And it's true, we need the character to be alive, of course, but you don't want to add unnecessary movement. You have to keep in mind that this is a bit like, I don't know, like a dance or a wrestling match. Any movement you give the audience is a clue of what you're about to go next, where you're about to go next, or what you're about to do next. Right now, if you add something that looks like an anticipation on the opposite side, you're about to tell the audience, look, I'm about to do something. And then we go there, and now it's not true, we're not about to do something, I'm just going down, and then I'm about to do something again. So I think in there, it's a bit confusing. The other thing is, you do this mega anticipation with this claw, and then in the action pose, we don't even see the claw anymore. And the feeling we have is that the hit was delivered by the right arm, which is a bit bizarre because you anticipated so hard with the left one. So I think you need to decide what is it that you want to tell us here, because right now we miss the attack. If you want to tell us the If it's a double attack like swing and swing, then we need to see swing and swing. We need to see the poses for that. If it's a single attack with this guy, then we need to see the left arm emerging from the silhouette so that we know what's going on. And we also need to have a breakdown between these two poses to describe the arc of this swing, because right now we don't have that. Oh, I see what's going on in here. Yeah, the thing in here is that since we couldn't track this arm, you see we cannot track it, then when you take it out here, to us it doesn't mean much, because we couldn't track it, so we don't know what we're looking at anymore. So I think you would be much better off if you showed a clear silhouette in here already. Then in here you have one of those moments you normally have where you start moving a control alone. Look at the chest and the arm, but there's no story reason for you to do that. So my suggestion is, if you don't know why you need that movement, you just remove it, okay? Just remove that pose. Then think about why you need a pose, and then you only put down a pose if you need it. And certainly do not move a single control like this without having the rest of the body take part into it. I mean, if this were extremely limited cartoon animation, I would understand, but this much chest rotation going forward or backward in here, I don't know what's that for, because the motion was swinging this way, right? Was swinging this way. So if anything, the chest should twist, it shouldn't pitch forward. Again, in here we open up. I'm not quite sure why we open up this way, and then we lose the silhouette of the left arm. I don't know why. And then you have a pose in which only the body moves down, see, while the clothes are completely immobile. So again, this is one of your moments that you don't want to have. Decide what's going on in here, and then don't just move a single control. And then we have the anticipation, which I think could work. I think probably this pose in here, you have a 1, 2, 4, would probably work better if the body was a bit more leaning forward, so that it's already pushing forward. In here it feels like the body is pushing up, but the upper spine is pushing back, if you see what I mean, while you are definitely pushing forward. So I would just go forward there with the upper spine. And then in here at the end of the shot, it's not very clear what's the attack. I mean, is the attack done this way, so I'm slashing with the exterior of the blade, or is the attack something like I'm clawing it in? I mean, I'm just closing the arms, because right now you don't have a pose showing that. So you would need a breakdown between this pose and this pose. If you're hitting with the exterior of the arm, you need a breakdown where the exterior of the arm is still visible there. We are in the air, and then as the creature flies onward, you open up. Okay, here you have an IK pop. In here you have a leg which is extended, but you didn't really quite rotate the foot in line with the rest of the leg. So I'm not sure. I would expect this to be to the back, if anything. So it seems to me that you're still fighting with the rig. I mean, you extend an IK limb, but then you forget that you have to rotate the limb. And the problem is that this kind of problems is not really good to see in a show reel. I mean, we want to see that you control the rig. That's the basics. And then if we get very good animation, fantastic. If we get good animation, well, good enough, okay? But if we see that you don't control the rig, then the feeling is that you will need to have technical assistance. And know what? Nobody really wants to give you technical assistance on operating a rig. That's something that we expect from you, okay? So be careful with IK pops and the orientation of limbs in IK, because they really are a giveaway of a problem with rig management there. And that's it, I think. Apart from that, I mean, it's just it's not bad. It's just that you added a number of poses. You don't seem to be clear about the structure of your story here. So you need to be more clear about what is it that you want to show. If you're really clear about what is it that you want to show, you will also know which poses you need. But I think it's fun. I think it's going in the right direction, and I think you don't really need these stormtroopers there. I think if you put a couple of boxes will be more than enough, especially because this looks like some sort of creature animation. So focus on getting the creature animation really looking cool. And then if you have time, you can add the bipeds, which are a lot of work anyway. So I think I will keep them for a second moment. Have fun.